Hi class, this is my third research presentation, which is titled Comprehensive Research Demo, and I have 30 steps to go through. The very first one is log into Westlaw. So here I'm on the login page, and I'm going to do that. Sign in. Because I have to read through these steps to make sure I'm answering all the questions and stuff, I'm going to be pausing and resuming throughout it. So the first one is I have to choose a jurisdiction. So I'm going to choose Hawaii first. Click Tools, West Key Number System. What is the West Key Number System? It's basically a list of legal issues and topics, and they have head notes. Head notes is a sentence or two from a court opinion that pertains to a particular legal topic. Legal analysts have gathered all these head notes and put them under a category. These categories are all categorized in what are called digests. So digests are books that have all these head notes together. They're classified under topics. I'm going to choose habeas corpus because I thought that sounded pretty interesting. And I'm going to go to the second one, grounds for relief, illegality of restraint, and expand on B. Here are all the subtopics that are listed. They are listed in numerical order, as you can see, from 461, 462, 463, and so on. The numbers next to the key lines are the key sites, and these are the topics. All right. Now she says, suppose you've conducted this research and you realize you're in the wrong jurisdiction, so go to a different jurisdiction. I'm going to hit on the Thomson Reuters Westlaw icon up here to go back to a fresh search and just do it again, what I did before. But I'm going to do Alaska this time. Tools, system. Go down, habeas corpus. And number 2, B, particular defects and authority for detention in general. I'm going to check that little box right there and hit search. She wants me to filter by date and show y'all how to do that. So on the left side of the page, you see some filters that you can use, and there's one about date. I'm going to click on all dates after. We're going to do after my birthday. March 5th, 1993. Continue. Apply filters. Search, search, search. Those are my results. Alaska is not known for being a very populous state, but we got some results here, so that's fine. We can work with that. Then she wants me to undo filters and then filter by jurisdiction, court jurisdiction this time. So my date is set to all, and I'm going to click on Alaska. Nope, I'm going to click on expand. Let's do Court of Appeals, not the Supreme Court. Apply filter. Pretty much the same results I had before. That's okay. And Borden v. State, I'm going to click on that. It took me to Head Note 5, and the reason why it did is because if you come up here, I'm still under habeas corpus, section B, particular defects and authority of detention, for detention in general, excuse me. So that's why it took me directly to Head Note 5. I'm going to click on Head Note 5, and it's going to take me to the place in the court opinion where Head Note 5 is cited, or talked about, I should say. And I chose this sentence. Here, even if we were to assume that Borden's claim is true, there would be no basis on which to grant him the relief he seeks. Whether or not the Superior Court violated the ex post facto clause when impose temporary bail conditions on Borden has no bearing on the validity of his convictions or his sentence. Now she wants me to quote it and cite it. So I'm going to copy paste it. I don't know of a way to highlight or to copy paste without copying the reference. So I'm going to hit copy with reference and delete the reference to show y'all how to properly cite it. Ignore that part. Just ignore it. All right, we're quoting, so we need to add our quotation marks. And first I'm going to type the title of the case, which is Borden v. State, and then you're going to put a comma. And then come up here. It is in Reporter Volume 370, Pacific 3rd Edition. So I'm going to write 370, Pacific 3rd Edition. It starts on page 1116. And then she wants us to include a pin site of that sentence that I just quoted. So going back, pin sites are in a dark green color with an asterisk right before them, and they're spread throughout the court opinion. And you can see here that ours is on page 118. We was the last word on page 1117. Likewise, it's the first word on page 1118. And I don't think that it goes on to 1119. I think it all ends on 1118. So I'm going to do 1118. Then I have to add the jurisdiction. Alaska does not have an abbreviation. You just type out Alaska. Simple enough. It's in the Court of Appeals, and it was decided in 2016. Can't type it correctly. And then the very last thing to do is we want to underline the title of the case, which is Borden v. State. Remember, we are not underlining the comma because that's not a part of the title of it. Ms. Johnson's pretty particular about that part, so there you go. All right. Next we start with a new search. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to change my jurisdiction, this time to South Carolina. And I'm going to set this to all content. The reason being, if I kept this here on Part B, it's going to take me to all the cases and statutes and whatever in South Carolina that has to do with habeas corpus and particular defects in authority for detention in general. So I don't want that. I want everything. But I also have to search for something. I can't leave it blank. It's not going to take me anywhere. So I'm just going to type in negligence to get me to where I want. I have to go through 8 terms and connectors, this part of the presentation. So the first one is the AND connector. Why does it do that? I want overview. I'm going to first do assault and battery. I'm using my term and connector. What comes up whenever I type that in? All cases and documents and statutes and whatever else that have the words assault and battery together like that, as you can see, because they highlight it for you. All the things that you search for in the search bar will be highlighted for you, which is pretty nice. The second term and connector that I have to use is the /s symbol. /s symbol means within the same sentence. So let's say I want to do negligence within the same sentence as woman. And here it's going to bring, why is it doing this again? It's so annoying. Okay, well, here are some cases and secondary sources that have the words negligence and woman in it within the same sentence of each other. Like they're in the same sentence, negligence and woman. Okay. Finally figured out why. I just clicked on all results so I can get all of my results. I was like, why is it only bringing up just a few things? That's weird. Okay, the next one is the /p within the same paragraph is what /p means. And I'm gonna do knife within the same paragraph as car and see what happens with that. All cases, law, secondary sources that have knife and car within the same paragraph as each other. Pulled him out of the car. A struggle ensued on the pavement outside of the car, and Mr. Riggs was stabbed in the wrist. Yada yada. You know what? I want to do cases and see what happens with that. Just cases. I think that'll be easier to continue on with my search in terms and connectors if I just click on cases. Easier to explain. Okay. The next one is /n. N stands for number, and let's say that I want to look up something that is robbery within 4 words of grocery store. I'm looking for a case with that in it. Let's say I have to look for a robbery case at a grocery store. That's how I would write it, or I would do /s or /p or something. But that's gonna say, so robbery of Johnny's Grocery, it's less than 4 words of each other. If grocery was 6 words away from robbery, then this would not pull up. That's why it's so narrow. All right, next is parentheses. Words in parentheses. I'm gonna do negligence again. Negligence is such a good one to use because there's so much you can do with that, and it's so broad. Within the same sentence as lawnmower and random. Okay, so we've got negligence and lawnmower. Finding of per se negligence. Okay. Next is quotation marks. You can use these if you're looking for a words or phrase in particular. Let's say I want to look up just anything with the words 3-prong test in them. No particular 3-prong test, just 3-prong test. Okay. Here I've got 3-prong test to satisfy current 3-prong test to a situation where the victim was shot by her, etc. 3-prong test determines whether a worker qualifies as a statutory employee. So all the cases that have 3-prong tests written in their opinions or somewhere on that document. Root expander. Okay, this one I'm going to use negligence again because it's just so easy. I'm going to write negligent and then exclamation mark, which is the root expander. So that means that it's going to bring up all words with negligent as its root word. So it's going to bring up negligent, it's going to bring up negligence, negligences, if it's plural maybe, but that's what root expander does, is it pulls up all of that for you. So you can see negligent, negligence, negligently. Scroll down. Yeah, okay. Lastly is the universal character, which is the asterisk used here. The asterisk it's kind of like, it's the opposite of the root expander. I'm going to use the word kill asterisk asterisk. So I'm looking for something that has to do with killing. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do 3. And I'm not really that picky. So it's going to bring up everything that has kill, killed, kills, killing, killing, kills, kill, killer. Killian as a last name. Okay. And that's it for that part of the presentation. Next, I have to pick one research feature in Westlaw that I've discovered this semester that I have not known before and have not used. Okay, so this is really silly, but I just found out recently that if you hit Thomas Reader's Westlaw, that icon right there, it takes you to a whole, fresh, clean new search. I had no idea. All this time, I have been hitting the backspace button about 17,000 times just to get to this page when I could have just hit that. So that was really nice to know. Let's see, I didn't know this either. You can set default to something. Let's say I only want to look up statutes. You can hit statutes and click search. And you can do the same thing on the left side as well. Just hit, statutes or secondary sources. But there are a few things that's included here that's not included on the left side. For instance, arbitration materials. You can click on that, but it's not listed on here. But I thought that was nice. I also like to search within results. So I'm gonna try. Let's do something car. Let's see if that does anything. Apply filter? Maybe? Maybe not. I might get no results. Okay. Okay, so everything. Oh, I'm on statutes still too. So statutes that have murder and car in them. Let's do cases. Murder. I guess I have to rewrite it. Car? Vehicle? Here we go. All the cases that have murder and car in them. All right. Oh, I like it's highlighted in blue too. Your first search was yellow, and then your search within a search is blue. I didn't know that. And the very last step I have to do for this presentation is I have to answer the question, now that I have finished my last research presentation for this class, I am going to blank. Well, I kind of want to include on my resume that I have Westlaw certificates and milk that if I ever have an interview for a paralegal position and be like, yeah, I navigated Westlaw. I had to use it quite a bit for school. So hopefully that could help me with job prospects. All right, thank y'all.